Hi, my name's Sean Cambron, and if you got 8 minutes, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So, 1988 was a kind of a pivotal year for me. But first, growing up in a kind of a household where dad was next level alcoholic and he pretty much beat me like a grown up and kicked me around that house like I was a soccer ball for pretty much most of my childhood. So drugs and alcohol became quite familiar simply because anything that could quiet that monster, if just for a little bit, well, I'm all in on that. But sadly, drugs and alcohol aren't free. So, hence the life of crime. And I dove right into that because the optics that I had at the time of the way the world was and the way the world worked was if you're not the hammer, you're the nail. So, I learned quite well from my father, and unfortunately, I took that out on everybody around me. So, I did become a foster kid at one point, and at the age of 18, they kicked me loose and they said, "Thanks, we're all good, you're an adult now." So, as I found myself standing in the middle of a field with all my clothes in a trash bag, sadly, I decided to go ahead and rob a store because a buddy of mine said, "If you want to be a roommate, just come up with $350. And I didn't have $350. So, and not knowing anything about guns and my best thinkings at work, nothing can possibly go wrong. And sadly, everything went wrong. And I ended up taking a life. And I was sentenced to 25 to life. And unfortunately, the way the parole board is built, created, is I ended up doing 7 more years because they didn't want to hear the fact that it was an accident. They didn't care about that. They just wanted me to tell the story that I went in there and shot somebody, and that sucked because I didn't want to be the villain, but I was the villain. And it took a long time for me to figure that out. But while I was inside, I did a lot of different things at first. Diving into sports changed my life on how to approach the world around me. That was next level kind of stuff. And hopefully we'll get an opportunity to talk about that because for people out there that want to be inspired or to inspire their kids or to change the way they are being knuckleheads, sports and military are very similar. Now, at the end of the day, I ended up diving into programs with my whole heart because I did want to share my story and I did want to be of value to those around me, especially the youngsters that IDOC would bring in. In fact, I actually worked with over 2,000 kids at some point, not right away, of course. 5 years I dove in on this. 18-year-old knucklehead who thought it was okay to walk into a Circle K store with a 32 Belgium automatic. It's not a thing. But it was, and I needed to fix that. So, for 5 years, I pulled back the layers, and there was many of them. And I ended up really uncovering a lot of the monsters and the demons that resided within. And I got to tell you, I feel like that's really what the pivotal moment was in giving me a platform to really help change those around me and give those guys a chance to get home to their sons and daughters and wives and family and friends. And even though it was a long time until I was going to be getting out, I really wanted to see those that sort of revolving door. I wanted to see it stop. I wanted to put IDOC out of business. I know. So, I ended up really rolling up my sleeves on getting educated on all things cognitive because I saw what it did for me and I knew that the potential for these guys to really receive the full benefit of that wasn't going to be from a staff member who read it out of a book. Sorry. They serve a purpose because they figured something out and stayed out of trouble, and doing some pretty positive things, but I'm a tribal member, and this is my tribe. And so we really did resonate with each other, and I became the guy that they went to for just about anything. But until they could do that with confidence, I had to really do a lot of education. So I ended up getting a master's certification in a number of things. One of them, cognitive therapy, a master's in trainer, and then a trainer of trainers. Basically what that is I can train other people to become trainers. I can train staff to present anything with a cognitive base to it, any rehabilitative program that had a cognitive base to it, because I had demonstrated the skills and ability to really excel in that area, which is pretty awesome. Only thing that sucks is they were tossing programs in front of me that I'd never even seen before, and they're like, yeah, teach this. Okay. But at the end of the day, I ended up getting my GED. That was great. In the prison, they would go through BSU, so I got that. I wanted to get that so I could do some college, and I ended up getting a couple credits out of Idaho State University in Moscow. And then as that went, I just would continue to do these skill programs, and I ended up getting like 47 certificates, drug and alcohol, anger management, behavior health. I mean, the list is huge. It really is. I could go over them with you. I'm sure that, I still have them laying around or something. I think the one that I'm most proud of, though, is that when I got out, I could have just went yeehaw because, it's a fun time. But I didn't. I dove right in to the College of Southern Idaho for a skills trade program for 2 years for business and HR. I think that was important. And as of last summer, I took a time out because I am still brand new. Doing 32 and a half years in prison. Going in at, 2 months after my 18th birthday and getting out at the age of 51. There's a lot of things to explore. And working at Chobani's at nights, doing 12-hour shifts, I found myself not really having a lot of time to discover all the new things. And every day's Disneyland, and I want to enjoy a little bit of that. So we took a little time out. Now, that said, I want to be able to maybe help out, be a part of this, share what I can, do what I can, and just know that the things that I've been doing since then is simply more of the same. I'm a mentor. I started my own podcast, 32 and Beyond. I have my own YouTube channel, 32 and Beyond. And I really dive into that and learning the stories of those around me so that I can serve those getting out. And I think it's important that we never step outside of adding value to the lives of others. I think that's really my purpose. And as I say, living in purpose on purpose. I think that's really important. So I think what you guys are doing is awesome. I appreciate, regardless of where this goes, I appreciate the fact that, this is a pretty solid thing. And, I'm looking forward to be a part of it. But if not, good job. This is good stuff. So let me know what you think. I'm always available, always here. This is the stuff that I'm built for. So let's go. You have a good one.